now suddenly you see a light, the light of liberty.
Yes.
But you've created this movement, so finish your story for us.
Well, so as I was, getting into bed every night and doing more research, as anyone who uses YouTube knows, you start off with one video and then you end up in a rabbit hole and it's 4 days later and you've missed work and you're still watching videos. And, so I would start off kind of watching these things about the media, and then eventually it would lead me to, Ben Shapiro speeches, Ann Coulter, Milo Yiannopoulos, all these different conservatives who in the past I wasn't even willing, Tucker Carlson, who I love more than God himself now, I wasn't even willing to look at these videos before. I would just see Tucker's bow tie and I'd be like, next, but like suddenly I was like listening for the first time and I was like, my God, the conservative point of view makes so much more sense than all of this identity politics, political correctness, divisive nonsense that I've been going along with in lockstep for so many years. And so then it became more and more difficult. This is when I thought to myself, oh my God, I think I'm becoming a conservative, or maybe I always was, I don't know. But I reached this point by 2018 where I was willing to say, I'm a conservative. And I don't, as a gay man, I've done the closet before. I've done the, hiding my head in shame and denying who I am. I'm not doing it again. I'm not going back for round 2. So I was like, I'm going to wear this conservatism proudly, and I'm not going to be silent about it. And I see the way that Trump supporters are being treated. I see the way the conservatives are being treated, and I do not want to allow that to happen either, if there's anything I can do about it. So I came up with this idea to shoot a 6-minute video I jokingly called the definitive manifesto of everything that's wrong with liberalism and the Democratic Party. Once upon a time, I was a liberal. In an effort to gain voters and maintain power, the Democratic Party that I once loved has joined forces with the extremist left. The Democratic Party and the liberal media now believe their ill-gotten conclusions and have ominously decided that they, and only they, know the remedy for society's ills. So I am walking away. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Walk away. I put this video out on social media, but I realized that there was a larger purpose here. It wasn't just enough for me to tell my story and to kind of, punch through that wall of I'm going to boldly wear my conservatism and not be ashamed to denounce the Democratic Party and liberalism. I know there are millions of other people who are feeling exactly the same way I'm feeling too, that their party has left them, that the Democratic Party has become a party of rage and hate and lies, and the liberal media machine that backs them up, they're sick of it. People are tired of it. So I created something that I called the Walk Away campaign. I encouraged other people to also make their videos and put them out there so that we could create almost this internet community of support. And I dreamed that it would be a big deal, but I didn't really know. I didn't know how people would react. I created a Facebook group and I said, look, use the hashtag walkaway and make your videos and talk about why you're walking away from the Democratic Party. It exploded. And what I also told people too was, going back to sort of my story of how this all happened, for months I was reaching out on social media saying, why did you guys do this? No one would answer me. So I said, listen, it's time for the silent majority to become unsilent. We need people on the right to be making their testimonials too, reclaiming the narrative of what it means to be a conservative. So we have what we call the walkaways, and we have what we call the walk-withs, who are those who walk with those who walk away. Those are the conservatives. And thousands of people started making their testimonials. And at this point, the group has grown to over 400,000 on all social media platforms. We have tens of thousands of testimonials. And it's become a massive movement. It's a very real thing. Hashtag walk away.
Do you think people who are brainwashed or mesmerized by the modern day media, do you think more and more people are capable of that?
Yes, because, and I'm living proof of that. If we could get into a time machine and go back 2 years ago and this person could meet the former me would think that pod people had taken over and that, somebody had stolen my brain. But yes, if I can change, anybody can change, and we are going to change. We have changed. I mean, since I started Walkaway, I get messages by the hundreds, sometimes by the thousands, saying, because of this campaign, my eyes have been opened. We are going to change minds, and we are going to change hearts. But we're so much more now than just a social media campaign. One of the things of many that we're going to do going into 2020 and beyond is education. And one of the things I want to do is create a video series, a very excellent quality video series, debunking media lies and myths and teaching people how to be skeptical again when they're watching the news, teach them how to be analytical, and see for themselves, as I said before, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Teach them to realize what's being done to them, the brainwashing, so that they see, they're doing it again, they're doing it again. Because, you know, they don't care about news. What they care about is a narrative. And right now, the most important thing to them is pushing the narrative of division through racism, homophobia, Islamophobia, xenophobia, any phobia that you can think of. So they start with a conclusion. The conclusion is, you're a bigot. The conclusion is you're a racist. Then they work backwards, and they go out and they seek out anything that they can spin as evidence to support that conclusion. They're not going out looking for stories. They're looking for little sound bites that they can use to support the conclusion that they've already come to.
Mm-hmm. It's a great point.